Hey everyone, my name is Simpzy, how you all doing? Welcome back to some more Total War Rome 2, DEI Dividend at Impera. Here today on the channel, we're back with episode 12 of our Mauryan Empire Indian series. Alright, here today, continuing our war with the Macedonians. We're going to throw them out of Asia Minor and hopefully continue our conquest against them. So, like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so we've managed to crush one full stack of them in the north in Odessos when we were fighting them in Thrace, which was easier said than done. They took a lot of our valiant Indian boys out, so it was a Pyrrhic victory in the end. Okay, so it looks like they're going to stand and fight here. So we've still got two full stacks in Asia Minor trying to throw them out. We've got another 4 in mainland Europe. It is a fort battle here, but I think we should be able to get a pretty good result here. The auto resolve is not in our favour because it is, well, a fort. And this isn't the best army we're deploying, but let's see what we can do. Okay, so I think the plan is to destroy the reinforcing army before it comes in. We potentially could rush the fort and take it for ourselves. I haven't decided just yet exactly what I'm going to do, but hopefully we can claim victory here today. Okay, so most of this army build is still made up of tier 1 or 2 units. Still got a decent array of archers though. Okay, so let's advance. We'll unite our 2 forces up. Now, we should have a decent amount of skirmishers to help us out in this one. But this is not the top tier 2, 3 tier army that we're using and have been expected that we're going to be fighting with in mainland Europe. But Macedon in this particular playthrough has actually done quite alright. They have expanded into Thrace. The Odrysian kingdom is now no more. But for whatever reason, the RDI, the Illyrian pirate faction, has pushed up into Philippopolis. Okay, so let's advance here. It looks like they might come out against me, which is interesting, as we do have skirmisher supremacy on them. Maybe we are better off to rush the army inside then and then deal with the garrison later on. It wouldn't be too much of a difference anyway. We do have like, what, 7 archer units? So maybe that's why they're coming out here. Well, looks like they want to close the distance against us. They will have line of sight on that reinforcing army. This army here mostly is made up of Indian conscripts. Tier 1 or Tier 2. Then we have essentially Arabian spearmen and some other Persian infantry. Okay, they do have cavalry supremacy here, so we just have to be a little bit careful. Just have to match them on that right hand side. We don't want them to particularly overlap us. They've just abandoned that fort there. So let's try and push. Okay, so the reinforcements are coming from here. So they're going to try and crush this first army before we have time to really retaliate. So let's give out some attack orders here. Let's not sit flat-footed and let them to skirmish us. So let's lock them down. And then hopefully we can swing our units around the back. They're moving out their general unit. Let's advance slightly with the baggage train to help us out skirmisher-wise and smooth the elephants. I think we've been quite lucky with deployment-wise. So let's send half of the army into the fort, the rest to come around and help that left-hand side, because I think that's where we're going to be best suited. But so far, Macedon in this particular playthrough has been the strongest and most resilient Hellenic faction we've faced. Can't say that much for Bactria or the Seleucids, the successor kingdoms. Well, the ones we faced, yeah. We haven't faced Ptolemy's Egypt though, but they've been quite docile in this campaign. Maybe the AI isn't very aggressive for them for whatever reason. Okay, not doing too bad. Still sitting in balance of power 50-50. We are now moving in our general unit and our elephants, so just have to be a little bit careful of them. If we get these arrow towers on our side, that would be magnificent. Getting arrow fire to support us in this. Just got to watch out for that reinforcing cavalry unit coming on in. So far, still in a pretty good position. But once we beat them here in Ephesus, we should be able to have Western Anatolia fully under our control. Whatever units we do lose, we might be able to get Hellenic conscripts as a replacement. Okay. Just got to be a little bit careful with my generals here, because we have lost a fair few of them in this campaign. Bindusara, Chandragupta. Ashoka still remains, but historically we've lost a fair few historically significant generals. Okay, so we're not doing that well on this right-hand side, so I think we just need to focus on the left. Let's make sure we give out those attack orders now we've locked them down. Nice, we've neutralized one of the 4 arrow towers, looking to get the second, and then we're about to get the fort fully under control, which will give us a morale boost. But ideally we want to control those arrow towers. If we can get them to start peppering the army. I'm surprised they closed the distance against us. Maybe the AI was calculating that maybe if they can crush this army, kill the general, they might be better off than sitting back and peppering us. Because what we would have done is just surrounded the fort on this southern axis here and probably just like peppered them, so maybe trying to catch us in a transitional phase might be better. Because now their reinforcements are hitting us better than probably what they would have been. Okay. So just got some units here trying to delay this. They are wrapping around cavalry and stuff, trying to hit my archers, but they're not doing the best. Okay, so just one more arrow tower here for us to claim. And then we've still got to push into Pella, their capital. We're still technically at war with the Athenians as well, they're their client state, but they haven't thrown any forces up against us. We will have to watch them navally. But at the moment we're winning 6 full stacks, which is pretty good, seeing as we're a landlocked trade economy. We're focusing on industrial metals, refining and agriculture as our main income base. Because unfortunately, we're in the situation where our allies are not allowing us to connect our port to the Western Mediterranean, essentially. So we are going to be hamstrung financially in that department, and our construction has reflected that as well. But I think that's the cost of having this alliance, not being able to get trade. Okay, so we've managed to take 3 out of the 4 towers, capping the last one here, and we're still managing to stop those reinforcements coming in. Okay, looks like we're going to be able to crush this army. Sitting in a fort was probably the best play. They should have actually sat in there. I don't know why they came out. That was foolish. They should have sat there and tried to soak it up, because the arrow towers would have absolutely ripped through us.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Okay, just need to make sure we cap that last tower, because that's going to be the main crucial one. Just got my elephants trying to run down their skirmishes here. Let's reform you here slightly. We might have to reform and restructure this entire front line in a moment. Okay. Doing really well. Going to be able to dispatch this first army. The second one, not so much. But once we win here today, we're going to be able to free up 2 full stacks to then push into mainland Greece itself, which at the moment seems to be not united, thankfully. Athens, Sparta there, so we have to deal with them. The Romans are pushing into there though. They do even seem to have taken some Illyrian territory as well, which is quite interesting. Okay, so just need to deal with the main reinforcing army now. And then Western Anatolia will fall fully under Indian occupation. Just the heavy phalanx are the ones that are holding us here still. Relatively. Still, we want to try and keep losses to a minimum, because it is going to fall to an eventual siege.
We have captured a tower.
The settlement, so the more men we can save, the better. Throwing more manpower at the auto-resolve would be ideal. But although we're doing well against the Macedonians here, now that we've crushed this army, we've crushed, what, 2 full stacks? We just got to be a little bit careful because the Macedonian unit roster is just so strong. And they do have Athenian allies as well. I don't know what they're going to wield or potentially spawn. But if they had Philippopolis, Thrace, maybe even a little bit of Illyria, they might have been in a stronger position. But the beauty is now, as we move into a region with essentially really good units from the cultural groups, we're going to be able to rely on them. Because the Arabian, a little bit of Persian, they don't have the best infantry. But as we push into these Hellenic areas, we can just get from there.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Although we have access to tier 2, 3 units, it just takes so long to get them, so... I wonder if it's nearly better off having access to a different cultural group that has better and a higher volume of average infantry than having a cultural group that has access to like a limited number of elites. I don't know. I just feel like numbers always help in DEI. Especially in Rome 2 towards mid to late tier. It's sometimes better just have volume. The auto resolves seem to reflect that more so. Okay, so we've finished the main army. Still held up a pretty decent fight. Now just focusing on the additional reinforcements coming on in. And we've also got the fort under our control. And those arrow towers are working for us rather than against us. And essentially our allies are letting us gobble up this Mediterranean territory. We're nearly going to form like an Aegean kingdom here. Okay, just need to run down those medium missiles. Archers are nearly out of ammunition. It's just their pikes now that are going to hold us. We are slowly trying to spread Hinduism as a culture, but it's just going to take so long to grow it. You'd nearly be better off in this campaign to actually just switch cultural groups. Be a secular empire. Well, I guess we kind of are. We do have a lot of cultural groups that we brought in, but maybe like the main faction itself. Because you'd nearly want to like subjugate the Persians and the Parthians. I don't know. I'm still unsure if that military alliance was worth it in the end. It did allow us to get west quicker, but the trade is just, well, cucking us really. Okay, they're about to waver fully here now. Just like we've got all of these really super rare resources. Spice, marble, slaves. We've got like a real controlling stake in the spice, but we can't sell it or flog it off to anyone, which is a shame. Okay, they're about to capitulate here. Yep, victory. Let's run them down. And let's end that there. Close victory, supposedly. Okay. Yikes. So we did lose 3,000 in that, but it was a fort battle, which I think is okay. Jeez. Although we're winning this war against the Macedonians, they are inflicting massive casualties against us. Oh, and we have lost another Mauryan as well from the family tree. Well, that's disappointing. We are running through them quite a bit. To be fair, at this stage in the campaign, what, 257 BC, nearly 100 turns in. We're going to get new units eventually soon. Now just thinking it was 100. It's just large enough that it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's continue the offensive here. We do have our navy coming into support. That was running down from Rhodes. Just quickly isolate these smaller units here, and they're going to be brought in anyway. We're going to have access to marble here in a second. Okay, let's occupy, and that should be the last of them. All the province of Asia is under our control. We've also managed to pick up another monument. Rhodes is down in the south. Border gore wise, we could look to go for it, but it doesn't really matter. Rhodes can be a bit of a different province to a difficult province to take. We have got the mausoleum here, so now we're starting to push into the Greek city-states in their territory, so we're going to have access to a lot of wonders, which will help us. Food-wise, we could be a little bit better. Some of these are quite large towns, so just need to switch them slightly so we can get the garrisons in to defend. But now we actually split Thrace with the Illyrian pirates, which is surprising. I didn't anticipate that. We will try and build some religious buildings. I just didn't prioritize them because, well, it just didn't really matter. We needed food and military early on. We don't have the luxury of converting culturally just yet, but now we do. I think this one is the one we want. And yeah, let's end the turn and continue. Another son comes of age. Good. Perfect. Okay, so let's move south with Ashoka. Now we will have to trespass through Popaldava, which is annoying. Yeah, we're just not getting any replenishment. Although it's winter, that doesn't matter. It's because we just don't have access to those units. And now these territories are so ethnically Greek, we might have to rely on them. Ooh, okay, so interesting. Although we've crushed 2 full stacks, it looks like Athens is defending them. Would they accept peace? Will you join the war, break the client state treaty? No. Will they accept peace for a payment? They will. And then we'll go after against them a bit later. I reckon it'll nearly be 10 turns before we actually attack Athens anyway. Okay, so we've managed to negotiate with the Athenians. They know that peace is their best option. They're going to give us a payment. So that's going to allow us to militarily convert all that drachmia to, well, infantry units to use against them. So because there's a full stack sitting in Pella, I can't imagine that there's an army there at all, unless they spawn one potentially in the Fog of War. But we'll look to rotate those units out. We'll keep our navy there. We could even move our navy from Asia Minor to Pella itself. Okay, so now we've got access to some EFS pikes, so we'll look to use them. Interesting. So they're not like Pergamon. Well, maybe they are what Pergamon was using, potentially. So yeah, I think what we're better off to do is control A merge on those ethnic Indian units, because it's just going to take too long before we have the cultural group converted, and then we have to grow it as well. So I don't feel as bad using Hellenic Greek pikes and hoplites. They're pretty decent, even the lower tiers. I'd much rather use them than Arabian spearmen, Persian infantry, maybe even Parthian. Like at this stage, those they just wouldn't cut at those. But I think the Hellenic Greeks potentially might. But anyway, got to wrap things up here. Stay tuned for episode 13 coming out tomorrow, where we're going to hopefully finish off the last of the Macedonians. We'll see how Illyria reacts, because we are moving through their territory in Thrace, and then we're going to build up and then push against, I suppose, the Achaeans in Larissa. We are going to be bumping up against Rome eventually as well, which will be exciting. Who would have thought? Rome, bordering the Indian Empire. And then we've also got to deal with Sparta and Athens as well, which I'll definitely play those battles. They're going to be fun in their own right. But anyway, like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this campaign still. We're finally pushing into Southern Europe, so we're going to have some really cool battles against some really cool and unique factions. We pushed through the Persian, Parthian, Arabian spam. We didn't see much of the Seleucids, unfortunately, but now we're going to be fighting the Greek city-states themselves, so that should be fun. But anyway, make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.